Welcome back. Welcome back. I think I fixed the audio. I think I fixed some of the camera issues. I think everything is feeling good and right. Oh, look, let me just show y'all a little something right now. This is the Pahrump Film Festival Best New Media Award that I won for my short film. It was great. I'm very excited. You can check it out. It's Father's Choice. It's about the psychological implications of scenes leading us to conclusions without ever telling us. So enjoy. It's a lot of fun. It's one of four that's coming of my little anthology of short psychological thrillers and it's like horror sci-fi. So that's really awesome. But what I really want to get back into this Chase Hughes. If you wasn't here earlier, I was showing this video. All of a sudden, everything was going crazy. Couldn't hear any of the audio. But don't worry about any of that now. Because all actuality, as you can see, I got my guitars and stuff in the back. I love to play music, and I got my the Justice League over here along with the award. But yeah, so what we want to do is get back into this because see, I want to talk about what's going on in Minnesota, everything that's putting together, maybe some of the things that you can do. Talk about how they do these things to us a little bit, and just sort of get ready with that. So I'm going to go ahead and share this screen. So I'll be right here with you, but check this out. For some reason, it's still not letting me use this audio. What is happening, guys? We gonna what is happening with this? Why they don't want us to hear this? You know, I'm a little I'm a little interested to understand why it's not allowing me to play this video along with the audio. Is for educational purposes. So while I'm talking here, I'm just going to see what I can do to do something about that. So weird. Huh. Give me 1 second, guys. We're gonna play. I'll play one more song while I try to figure this out. This next song is called "Spiraling Down." Enjoy. Hope you enjoyed that. That's pretty sad. I was sitting here listening, going, man, that's. I guess you know, they don't make it like that now at all. But that's cool. One of these days, that'll be out there in this world. It's already out there. You know, if you enjoyed that, please share it. You know, if you get a chance, go back, listen to the lyrics. There's a lot of deepness there. There's a lot of lyrical continuity there that has validity, and also might, move you in a profound way if you think about it in a philosophical manner. For some reason, my permissions isn't allowing me to actually use the audio source. So I'm trying to find out what's going on with that. Let's see if we got us. Let's see if we're able to do something. We got audio on all the scenes, so let's just go back. I did a little bit of a troubleshooting, so I'm gonna see if I'm gonna get this. No, guys, it's not working. It's so wild. Let's see if we can do this. I'm gonna do this live with y'all. Let's see if we can work it out, guys. Um, nope, didn't work. Didn't work. Did not work, guys. Didn't work. I'm really trying to get this to work over here. I'm a little confused on how it's not coming through. And I'm wondering, am I gonna have to? But you know what I do have? I have to find. Let me see if I can go to my channel real quick and bring up this thing with Brother Sanchez from when I was on his show. It's just to give a little. Let's see. Let's see if we can actually do that. I know y'all probably can see everything I'm doing, but I don't care. I just want to get to my videos. Um, let's see where his video is at. Let me see where his video is. Oh, yeah, I don't know if you can hear it. All right, it's not coming through at all, guys. I don't know what's going on with the audio. Let's kill the share screen. I don't know what's going on, and that was like my big thing. I really wanted to show you this video this evening, but that's okay because I'm gonna get it to work. I always figure everything out perfectly, flawlessly. It always works, and it always happens when it's supposed to happen. But I wanted to show that video, the video where I went on Sanchez and was trying to break down to him and share with him how these things come about when it comes to what we're looking at with Hollywood, when we're looking at reality television, when we're looking at the great psyop that is happening right now. You know, and one of the things I'll bring to your attention is just notice that the young lady, you know, I wish nobody no harm. I'm not speaking ill against the dead, anything of this nature. I'm not speaking anything of that. I'm just asking us to put on our critical thinking minds and maybe enter a little into game theory and just sort of play with some ideals for a minute here. Let's just look at something here. No one in this woman's family has come up and spoken. We have never seen a situation like this where officers or any kind of law enforcement had injured someone to this degree, and you didn't see their family come up and represent them along with lawyers and things of that nature. There's no one representing this woman other than the girlfriend, which we haven't seen going around talking that much or any of that. She had three names. We all know the PSYOP with three names when it comes to assassinations. There's always a three name, and it's very critical that we look at the fact of that. Another thing we have to look at is the timing of all of this situation and the fact that this is being pushed very strategically during a time where there is already a large amount of uncertainty, unrest, and frustration and anxiety built up in people about what's going on in their everyday lives. So this just actually takes that and catapults it to another level. So there's several things here, and this is why I want to show that video so you can start looking at some of the angles that are being played on us as people. These angles are psychological, and we have to look at when a situation calls us to take a side, when a situation calls for tribalism, when these situations use symbols and signs and they immediately demand conformity. This is when we know we're not looking at something organically happening. We are looking at a psychological operation to a degree. Now, what stage that operation may be in, who knows? Well, you could probably figure it out to some degree based upon the amount of pressure you see building up around you. But beyond that, you'd have to look at this and go, okay, there is a psychological operation in play. You know, at what means, how far along, that's yet to be determined. But all of the key things are there to show that there is some sort of operation being done. So I just wanted to share that. I got to figure out what's going on with this audio so that we can really get down to it. I can show you a lot more of the videos. But what I will do is I'll leave you with this understanding. Okay. This is how they get you. All right. Your mind can only take in so many message units. That's it. It's just the way it happens. If you don't believe this, please look this up. You don't have to take my word or regurgitate anything I'm saying. Please do your own investigation. Your mind can only take in so many units. When your mind can only take in so many units, that causes, and you get too many, you get an overload. When that overload occurs, it causes a disorganization of the inhibitory system. This is your ability to decide and move and do something. When this disorganization of the inhibitory system occurs, there is something called a trigger. Your trigger is your fight or flight. Now, that fight or flight can show up in shock and awe or anger and aggression, but there is a trigger that happens, and that is fight or flight. When you are triggered, that causes hypersuggestibility. This means you are hypersuggestible to stimulus at this point. This cause is access to your subconscious. And it's just a way of saying you enter into hypnosis and you become programmable. Now, the reason I explained that to you is because it's very simple. When you watch these films, when you watch these shows, what do? They overload you, they overstimulate you, immediately sending you into an overload, giving you a disorganizing inhibitory system. They trigger your fight or flight. I know you're going to go, well, I'm not triggered. Well, let me tell you, we don't live in a fight or flight doesn't show up the way it did when we were living in the savage lands. Okay. Fight or flight shows up in very different ways. Okay. When someone says something to you and it catches you off guard and you go, that's called shock. And in that moment, you are triggered. Okay. Once that happens, hypersuggestibility ensues. Hypersuggestibility is just a fancy way of saying hypnotized. Then that grants access. Access means that your critical mind, the critical thinking band that separates the conscious from the subconscious is open because the mind needs answer and it will look for it from wherever it can find it. And when they do these things like this and they overload you, they shock you, and they have you sitting there, you're in a hyper suggestible state. Okay. And they tell you that you should believe something, you're going to believe it. And if you don't think so, just do this. Check with your belief systems. Look at the things right now you currently talk about and think about and how you feel about some of the things. And notice if they are yours, your true individual feelings, or they're feelings that have been told to you. That's all you have to do. And you'll see. And this is the key. They hypnotize everyone. This is how they do it. The key is hypnotism isn't some mystical showmanship. Hypnotism is something we all experience every day. If you was ever driving on the highway and you just start thinking of singing a song and you got so into it, you missed your stop, you was hypnotized. If someone was talking to you and all of a sudden your mind just drifted off into space and you came back and said, hey, what was you saying? You was hypnotized. If you was driving home and you got home and you like, wow, I got home faster than usual. I wonder what happened. You can barely remember the time between there and getting to your house. You were hypnotized. Hypnotism is something we all experience many times throughout the day. It's very natural. They never taught us it was natural so that they can use it. You see? And when you understand that, then you'll get the key. Then all that those things will come together a lot better for you. Now, another thing I'll touch on real quick is some of the stuff they're talking about with, let's say, some of the stuff they're trying to convince you of with men and women and how men and women are at odds and all of these other things. You have to understand that this is a programming. They understand how people operate. You have something called the physical sexual male and the physical and the or physical sexual female and the emotional male sexual male and the emotional sexual female. These categories, when you understand how the mind works, how you got what you got from your parents, where you got, if you love hugging and you love and embracing and you're a physical person in your relationship, that's because the male influence in your life as a child was a physical male and he showed you these things. This is how you express those things. You didn't get that from your mother. right? Some of us is lacking because the male influence, we may have gotten it later, but it was off. And this is why you see so many people off. Our influences, that nurturing aspect, the first contact we come through, that's our mother. All these little traits and things that we experienced from when we were young put in our minds and shaped how we saw experiences. The way you saw your mother being treated by men in her relationship or with your father shaped you. You don't think so? Even if you denied it, even if you say I didn't like it, even if you say, oh, I never messed with that, it doesn't matter. When you was at your youngest, before you had a critical mind to protect what you think this world is, you was open. And that's what's sitting there. And they know this. And so they tell you that, oh, men do this and they have this trait and men mistreat women this way. And when I hear it, I'm like, well, that's not a man thing. That's a people thing, a damaged person thing. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. If you've undergone certain psychological traumas that you've never dealt with, it's going to create imbalances in your field and consciousness, and therefore you're going to act that out. Now, depending on how you respond to your fight or flight, depending on the upbringing and how you've been, your ego sensation, if it's low or high, is going to determine how you respond. And see, when you understand this, then see, guys, you'll stop getting with these emotional sexual females, because when you understand the psychology of them, they're independent. It's not their fault. It's this thing has been around. They trying to convince you that it's all new. It's not new. It's just that we have a society through that has been corporatized, and then they branded that, and it's a social engineering tool. It's not something they created. It's something they're abusing. And when you understand opposites attract, when you understand what the other half of your equation should look like, then these things won't happen. We won't have these things. But they are hyping up things that are not true. They have to do with human psychology that they know very well. They understand it so well that they can use this. They've convinced us all that we're $37 trillion in debt, but none of us spent any of the money. So I'm gonna leave it on that. I just wanted to touch down. I had to figure out what's going on. I really want to show you this video. Come check me out tomorrow on There's Only Now. I'll be doing that in the morning, coming with some hypnotic modalities, some exercises and mental practices that can cause wellness and help toward achieving the goals you truly desire to achieve. So thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate you all, and have a wonderful, wonderful evening.